Okay, so this is Phillip Luna and Esteban. Are we saying Steven? What's your last name? What?
Garcia.
Garcia. I'm gonna scoot in a little bit.
Come on.
I'm gonna make sure that I get the sound right. Okay, y'all have just put together your first album of all originals, right? All original songs. So who wrote the songs? And
We all wrote songs.
y'all wrote.
Steve wrote 2, Don wrote 2, Coy wrote 1, and I wrote 1.
Ah, hey, there's Don. Okay. So
We talked about this. We said we'll come with sketches. So we all wrote some stuff down. Then we got together. That's why it took a long time to get to the studio, and then we created together. And really, we brought sketches. And
Yeah, I think we
over time we changed them.
Rewrote.
And someone said, "Hey Don, how about this melody line instead of what you wrote?" Oh, I like that. You know, that sort of thing.
So it's completely collaborative,
Yes.
is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So there's not a designated songwriter,
I could not have
designated
done it without this
objector.
But it's very distinctly, like you can tell Corey's song, Don's songs, Steve's songs are very different from each other. So,
Phil's song?
and my song is the better of the 6. Me and Steve have been writing music together for 15 years.
Okay, so y'all were songwriters all
We were
along.
songwriters together. I didn't want to write because I had never played bass before and I had never played jazz before. So I was learning by playing the standards. So I think like when we got Corey in the band, I was real nervous that we would lose his interest because he can play standards with anybody. We'll get to a point, we'll start writing music and then we'll never stop. We'll always write our own songs after that, which is exactly what happened. I just needed to find that comfort level
I see.
Yeah, it was
by going
always,
through the standards.
what
you know.
sound?
it was always the goal, right? Because
sound, yeah.
a zillion people can play standards, and they
Yeah.
all sound the same, no matter how good they are. You have to be. And we never wanted to do that,
1,000 times.
and we wanted to
do
find
better
our,
than that. Can I do that?
and we wanted to find our voice.
Who did the first wrote the first original song for you? Was it you, Don? Because I remember there was
Dan,
one you
wasn't
did.
it? He wrote a song called Wall Punch.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
It was a really stupid song.
No.
But it actually
What? No, I
worked
think
well.
if it's the one I'm thinking of, I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
It's a song, and it was like the beginning of what we do. Sort of like
Wasn't it kind of
had
heavy
some
on the
changes.
saxophone?
Oh, and I
Yes,
wrote the one incidental.
Oh,
We've actually
I would like
played
to
on
bring
the
that
radio.
back.
Yeah, I would too, but it's really different. I thought about
Well,
that.
I liked
and
it
I've
the
been
same
playing
way. It was great. That was a really cool song. Also in the 70s. No,
because
it's one of those like sausage songs.
it might fit
One of
in
those
the
that
future.
you know, when you're working
we've
things
got-
out. when
Okay.
We've got 4 new ones
You're
for the
grinding
next
it
album
through.
already that are different than those, and we threw those in.
making sense.
And we have some from these guys before the band. That we've been playing that are
Playing
really
songs
cool.
from our last band together,
And what was that?
Psychics.
Before.
I
We got
loved
twice.
that last song. You'd say it's not jazz.
What is?
I think it is.
You know how?
Okay.
Okay, so here's a discussion I have all the time with these guys, but also with
Jazz
like
is whatever.
yeah, with like
Jazz is not
people in
You
New
cannot
York.
confine
Okay,
jazz.
so
Jazz doesn't care.
right, jazz don't care. Let's get rid of the name jazz. Where do we get
Yeah.
that? It's all music. There's no rule that only jazz musicians improvise. Mozart used to improvise.
Yeah.
I think jazz is more complicated because like you're playing
It has different scales or something,
you're
right? It
throwing
has
wacky
special
chords.
scales.
And then Don brings all those special scales.
Well,
He's
those
like
are.
sharp the 9th, I want to sharp the 5th, the 9th, and the 13th.
That's all
So,
he knows.
do y'all know how to do all that? Are
Every
y'all
note
all
is
I
versed
sometimes
in
have
the?
to deconstruct stuff when Don
I
brings
don't.
it to.
No, you're
You just use your ear, I
yeah,
think,
but you get it.
and that works all right.
Instantly. Oh yeah.
Works okay.
The best you can't improvise and you can't work in a band like this without having an exceptional ear.
Without having a what?
Exceptional ear.
Oh,
Or you
yeah.
fall apart.
I'll deconstruct.
And it has to be the right mix of people.
So when you're making your songs, when you're deciding on what to put in the album, whatever, Did y'all have like, all of a sudden like, moments where you're like, oh my God, we're gonna have to break up as a band and I can't stand these people ever again?
Yeah, we not anymore, but during the process of making this record, it got really tense, Sometimes we try to figure out.
Intense.
Well,
Intense
it's
is
a
good.
matter of like almost, I think that miscommunication thing just really comes down to really not knowing how to express what it is exactly you want to play and do, So sometimes when you're fighting through that, whether it's through words or notes or whatever, just ideas about what the song's going to do.
So is it like whoever, is conceiving of the song, you tell the other band members, and you're like, it goes like this, and then they just don't get it right at all?
You can say it goes like this, and then it won't go that way, but it'll be its own little thing.
We're all alpha players. So we each individually do whatever we want to do all the time, no matter what.
That's actually,
and that works out.
Yeah.
That's what the song
It's
goes
like
for.
this. Well, that's good advice, Corey. And then fucking.
Which is kind of the basis for the whole what we do.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, like let's say Steve comes up with an idea, and then Phil will hear what that idea is, and then we'll start to play, and then Steve will change that idea while we're playing, and then
it evolves.
And you may not even know. I'm not calling you out there.
No,
I'm saying I do the same thing.
I see what you're saying.
To where you don't even know that you're
Example of,
changing your
process.
original idea. Yeah, you don't even know. I mean, here we're talking over each other, as you can tell. It's just,
But I would say that there was tension, but it wasn't bad tension ever.
I feel like it comes from, we get together at 9:00 at night, and everybody has a full life of a work day. And then you have to come in and be creative and nice and all of that, and we just throw nice out the window. So it's not nice. I mean, we're going to get creative, we're going to do some business, but it may not be pretty because we all have, other things swimming in our heads besides that, so...
So has there ever been a point where like one of you thought like this thing this guy's doing is just not going to work, he keeps doing it, it's not going to work, we're going to have an intervention, and not
not so
I'm
much
trying
intervention.
like we
We're
can't
pretty
do
free
that.
about talking to each other, and it gets. Here's a discussion Phil and I had. Don, you need to do this. Oh yeah, well you need to do this, Phil, and that's why I did that. Hey, I'm just giving you some feedback. You don't have to hammer on me, okay? And then a few hours later, I come back and I go, it's not what you said, it's the way you said it.
And I said,
But it's
"You're
true.
being a pussy, shut up." Like,
Yeah. And I said,
I thought I was being pretty nice.
Well, for you, it was probably true, but you just have to.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, like when I hear something live is my main, like I never get frustrated like when we're trying to develop songs or rehearse or practice a tune. For me, it's just whenever we're playing live and I just hear stuff that I don't like, and then but usually I just end up playing louder and harder to like, because I feel like I'm playing over the top of something that I think sounds like crap. And then I'll be like, wait a minute, I shouldn't do that because, I have musicians that we need to be respectful to each other. And that's what we're doing.
No, but you don't.
No, really, because in the end, you're doing it for the music. You're respectful of the music. I shouldn't say the musicians as far as us as people, but like, what is it that we're doing? We're filling up this space and time with this music. It might as well be something that like, we can all sort of hone in on it and like feel at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So they were saying that these guys before, when they were talking shit about you, no, they said that you were playing with other bands and doing other things, and that they didn't want, they felt that if they were just doing standards that you would lose interest, and that's when they started writing music. So did you write some music before you came along to this band also?
No, for me it was more of like, I think you guys probably felt that way. Like, well, I'm not sure why, because I love standards. But
Well, because you said, if you can't do standards at this level, let's fucking not do them.
yeah, well, it's
My own
better,
feelings.
isn't it? I mean,
But none of us wanted to
I couldn't
play
stand to play
standards.
I think
standards.
I only have a couple tunes that I've actually written from beginning to end. I think for me, it's a matter of wanting to collaborate and write original stuff like together on the spot, right? Which is what we've done pretty much.
Which is from day one that we talked about. That was
No, I'm a terrible writer. I mean, I don't like, just because I don't practice writing music, even though I should. I'll argue that composition is the most important part forever, and then I won't do it. Because to me, it's composing on the spot. Seriously, and that's what we do.
is.
Jam. If we could jam and record what we improvise on and compose on the spot, which is improvising, which is making music, right? It's all related, right? So whenever we do that, if we can record it and then go back and hear those recordings and then like write compositions based on them, that was another idea that we
Well, we've done that.
Because that's the best way.
That's how we recorded this album, kind of,
Yes.
back and forth
To the end, yeah.
reflection.
So did you guys play all together for the recording, or did you each
We did
play
that for
separately?
2 years.
Oh, okay.
We recorded every Monday at my house for a year, and then we went to a studio and paid studio prices to record every Monday with the intent that this album needed to be played live, beginning to end. And then so Monday would go by, but it's always something wrong. It was always something wrong with it, always something wrong with it. And at one point, we were taking a break.
Bye, you
and-
guys. Good meeting you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, to interrupt your interview.
Bye.
Let's try not to do that.
No, please.
Not at all.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks so much.
We got so frustrated that we decided we locked Steve and Don out of the room, and me and Corey recorded the entire album in one afternoon.
Oh, really?
And,
That's actually what happened. Yeah.
And so then you guys came and
Yes, we
listened to
really
to y'all's.
Because me and Phil never mess up together.
Well, you did, and we had a cover for it, but that's
Well, that.
we did well.
But,
Then we came separately.
yeah.
Okay, and then.
then it all happened very fast.
Once y'all figured out
Yep.
the way to do it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
I don't think it's very common that jazz bands track.
No.
Oh, this is rock and roll.
Yeah, well, I don't really know. That's why I'm
either.
curious.
It just seems more common that jazz albums.
Yeah, you're supposed because y'all are supposed to feed off each other and do, like you said, improvise your solos and stuff. Did y'all ever write out your solos?
Right, well, not physically, but
Play the same ones.
sometimes I just like when I was talking about Don, when Don comes in with certain chord structures or whatever, I will, have to deconstruct sometimes one of these chords, and then I do sort of,
Make
it
it
just
back.
helps, with my machete. Because everything is so, it can go anywhere. It can go anywhere.
And it hits my knees.
That's the problem right there. Like I think Steve kind of hit the nail on the head. It's like I think we all have a level of. I'm not going to say ADD because I don't even know what that is anymore. But
That's
it's a
most
certain
people.
ability to see the end of something, right? It's like I've always felt like if you're just like great movies, like if you're going to write like a movie script and if you don't know your ending, you just can't even start on it, right? Or you shouldn't, I don't think. Like. So I think not knowing the ending of a tune or not knowing where it's going to go, what is your destination, right? It's like,
I don't know. You asked David Lynch. I don't think he ever knows where his are
well,
going
that's
to
the
go.
thing. Yeah, there you go. That's another way of making art, I guess. But in the case of what we do, we are so in the moment that we have to have some sort of like destination or point. And I think we change that consistently and forget what it is or we don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
So
I think after
how
when
much
we were
more
making those
frustrating can you
songs-
get, right? To like
After going over those
it's like
songs
running
over
and not
over,
going anywhere. You're just like running.
I
You're
could
just, like,
finally lose.
It's not driving toward the point. I guess
I
is
don't
what you
mean to
mean.
be like negative. It's just all part of the creative
Oh,
process.
sure. No, you can't be satisfied or you're not going to progress,
Thank
right?
you. Yes, there is no satisfaction ever in this music.
Yeah.
That's why
It
it's.
should be.
Corey can't get no satisfaction.
That's right. That's the story
No
of my life,
satisfaction.
Alan. The story of my life. It's never good enough.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep out here forever. So just then one last thing. So what is the CD
No.
release? Or it was the fundraiser so that you could actually produce the plastic discs? Okay.
Very much so.
And then are you going to have a CD release party or did you already
June
have?
11th
Okay.
at the Paper Tiger,
The Tiger. It's Thursday.
That used to be what club?
White Rapid.
White Red.
Oh.